Ode on a Grecian Urn was written by the influential English poet John Keats in 1819. It is a complex, mysterious poem with a disarmingly simple setup. An undefined speaker looks at a Grecian urn which is decorated with evocative images of rustic and rural life in ancient Greece. These scenes fascinate, mystify, and excite the speaker in equal measure. They seem to have captured life in its fullness, yet are frozen in time. The speaker's response shifts through different moods, and ultimately, the urn provokes questions more than it provides answers. Urn means a vessel that is typically an ornamental vase that is used for various purposes. The speaker directly addresses the urn, deeming it a pure partner of quietness itself as well as the adopted child of silence and vast lengths of time. The speaker wonders what stories are being told by the images on the vase. It was not sure whether the figures depict human beings or gods, and which part of Greece they are in. The speaker wonders about the specific identity of the male characters and the reluctant looking women. There was a scene inscribed on that urn. It looks as if it shows a chase and an attempt to escape. The poet focuses a young piper sitting under some trees, just as the piper can never stop playing his song, as if he is frozen on the urn. The trees also remain same without shedding their leaves. Then he focuses on a scene in that urn. It depicts two young lovers. Though they are nearly kissing, their lips can never meet. The speaker tells them not to be upset, but always they will be loving each other. Then the speaker addresses the images of trees on the urn, happily calling their boughs because they will never lose their leaves and they will never have to say goodbye to spring. Then he turns himself towards the piper who will never get tired, instead, happily playing music. The piper will play a music. This fills his thoughts with happiness. Then he turns the attention towards another scene on the urn, which appears to depict a ceremonial progression. They notice the figure of a shadowy priest leading a cow, which is moving towards the sky and also dressed with ceremonial silks and flowers. This image causes the speaker to wonder from where those in the procession have come from. In those areas, the rivers, mountains have fallen quiet because they have left on this religiously significant mourning. The speaker directly addresses this unknown urn, acknowledging that its streets are frozen forever in silence. There is no one left who can explain why the town is empty. The poet takes a zoomed out look at the urn, noting its shape and apparent attitude. To the speaker, the urn seems to offer a temporary respite from thought in the same way that eternity does, but this respite seems inhuman or false, leading the speaker to call the urn cold. Inspired by the sentiment, the speaker notes that when everyone in their generation has died, the urn will still remain the same. It will become an object of contemplation for people with different problems than the speaker's generation. To them, the urn will say that beauty and truth are one and the same. This fact is all that it is possible to know and all that anybody actually needs to know. Actually, death preoccupies the speaker. Thus, the scenes in that urn evoke a sense of immortality. It seems to represent a kind of eternal life. At the same time, everything and everyone in the urn's world is no more. Sensing this contradiction, the poem can be read as a process of response in which the speaker tries to make sense of mortality. Importantly, one of the main purposes served by an urn was to hold the ashes of the dead. This urn is the sole object of contemplation in the poem. Thus, this poem, Ode on a Grecian Urn, depicts a complex meditation on mortality. I hope you could have understood this poem. Stay connected with Learning Station for further videos. Thank you.